What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Keeper RL. My name is Splattercat. Things have been rearranged slightly. I loaded my save, but I'm not entirely so sure that it actually filled that up, and so I had to rebuild like half my base. I don't know. I saved, I went to the bathroom, I came back, and it was being weird. So ores are going to be in different spots, and I'm actually trying to get some of my minions back as of right now, too. So if things are a little bit different, don't freak out. It was unexpected, but yeah, that's the way she goes sometimes, Rick. Welcome on back, though, to our fun little Dungeon Keeper game where we are planning our invasion of enemy lands. We've got a few orcs that are over here training, trying to get better at their jobs. We got more orcs joining up by the day because that's just the kind of savage personality we have. Like, we just put out the war. We said, hey,
you lot bring me all the boys and we's gonna go crump 'em. We's gonna go hit 'em with me shooter, because me shooter is also good for zogging my foes.
we're ready. We're ready. We got the orc boys with us. Unfortunately, we're not getting any shamans this time around. I suppose that's okay. I think with the wooden dummies, they can only train up to like a certain level. But that's cool. We've got like an orc Uruk-hai army with us right now. Hopefully they'll get stronger. They'll hit like level 6, level 7 before they can no longer utilize these things over here. I was hoping we'd get 1 or 2 more shamans though. Just in the off chance. Oh yeah, we've got to do some crafting. So in this episode, let's consider doing that. We need to make a workshop. We need to have like an area where our units can like hang out and make some of the sundries that they need in order to be better equipped. Now, taking a look at these guys, they are training. They're doing the best that they can, but we can make them better. Equipment in this game just gives you like flat bonuses. Like, so for example, your attack just goes up by like X amount once you give them a club. And so adding these things on is a really, really good idea. It makes your life easier. And so, Bashat, I like anybody that has the word shat in their name. He's Bashat. It's B.A. Shat. He's got a B.A. in shatting. We wanted to make a crafting area. I would suggest that this might be a decent place for it, although just putting it in the hallway over here would work too. I don't see any reason why that would not be a perfectly fine thing. Oh, we have not researched crafting, so we'll need to do that now. So there it is. Now we can do the workshop, which is going to cost us 80 wood a pop. I would say just to put in a couple of these over here. Well, here, let me go back. I feel like I can space this better, maybe. Maybe I can't. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. So the imps will come along, they'll get those set up, and then we'll be able to queue up some gear for our characters. The other thing that we want to do is, you're probably wondering why I researched a pigsty. The pigsty allows you to increase your population cap so that you have more people on your side, so that when you go out to raid the enemy, you've got less of a warband and more of an army. Right now, we've got like a warband, and yes, they're in here training, they're having the best time ever doing their thing. Oh, we needed to light up our dungeon. You light up my life. Doors would also be good. So let's go ahead and add some doors to our dungeon. You can only add doors into one-space gaps in between areas, in case you were thinking about that and you weren't sure exactly how that works. There we go. All nice and done. The doors have been placed. That is going to cost us a little bit of resources, but we got so much wood lying around that I don't really care about it anyways. Manufactory is done. That's finished over there. Torture room I don't really need for right now. Instead, installations, we're going to need torches. So torches are actually pretty easy. They attach automatically to whatever wall you put them on. Apparently they give some kind of morale bonus to any ally that's like inside their radius or something like that. Seeing as we're creatures of darkness, I personally really don't understand that. Like, you'd think they would enjoy being in the pitch black. But then again, if you've ever tried to like read in the dark, I suppose that could be kind of annoying to pull off too. So, oh, it attached to the opposite. No, I want it to go on the bottom wall. Well, fine then. And the game is definitely an alpha. Sometimes it'll attach to walls you don't want it to attach to. It's just, you've got to get used to that factor. And you've got to get used to living... Oh, they're both going on the top? No, now they're both going on the bottom. See? How do you know which side they're going to go to? You can't tell. You can never tell. And so my little dudes should race out and get that done. Let me speed up the game real fast so that the renovations get done even more rapidly. Now, you want to be careful about hitting your enemies, because once you start hitting your enemies, they're going to start hitting you back. They're going to start coming at you, bro. They're going to start coming at you. What's the difference between a goblin and an orc? What does a goblin do? I'm very, very new to this game. Oh, it looks like he's really, really good at crafting. Okay. So, yeah, by default, he wants to craft. Sounds good to me. Let's put in... We're going to put in orders for... Let's say 10 leather armors, 10 leather helms, 10 pairs of boots, 10 pairs of gloves. We could raid these from other enemies. But I think that just getting ourselves set up right now. That's right, we make first aid kits out of wood. We have just all kinds of iodine compresses and all kinds of funny shit just made out of wood. That's all that it is. We take a tree, we grind it up, and all of a sudden you've got a med kit. Now the orcs will occasionally go and craft as well. They're not as good at it as the goblins are. But if you watch right here, you can see progress being made, with the big jumps being more than likely from the goblin, and the little jumps being made by the orcs, who are applying themselves to crafting as well. You can also see that we've got a new object right there laying on the floor, a rather voluptuous, a sultry chess piece that has plenty of room for the boobies to breathe, which is that's very, very important. If your boobies can't breathe, that sucks. Like, you think there's going to be some kind of joke right there, but no, it sucks. You got to make sure they're getting the proper oxygenation. Now, they won't equip this stuff until you put it inside of storage, so what I would suggest you do, watch, someone will go and get that right there. And now, he's got +2 to his defense because of that armor. That means that you can actually bump this up by 5 or 6 points just by equipping them with gear, and then their attack will go up by 3 or 4 as well, just by taking the time to get them equipped. We can add consumables to them if they ever get that done, but I think we're going to need some wood long before we get any of the rest of this done. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to schedule all of these trees for destruction, because I don't really feel like our guys are doing anything anyways. We've provided enough armor. When they die, they will drop this gear, so you can end up with yourself in a situation where you feel like you're just constantly crafting gear. Don't worry about it too much. It should be perfectly fine. We've got about 3,000 iron, so that's good. We didn't get a lot of stone, but they're not done mining out the stone that we have. You can find more geological deposits by researching further geology, so you can do advanced geology right there, which will give you access to, I think, gold and a few more deposits of iron and other things. Now that we've put those down, they'll start to get those done. How are you guys doing with your queue right now? I'm actually really, really happy about that. Like, this goblin is helping out tremendously in getting some of this stuff done. I'd prefer that all of our orcs be around level 10 before we start running raids, and that they all be equipped with full gear. Because if we take a look here, let's see what the difference is between a level 7 orc. It looks like they get like a 1 stat increase, but that 1 stat increase is going to matter because their ranged accuracy and ranged damage. This is how long a turn takes, right? Yeah, game time, every action uses. Like, every roguelike in the universe uses that system where 100 units equals 1 turn, and various actions take different amounts of time. So that's actually how good they are with ranged. I don't plan on giving my orcs a ton of ranged abilities. That probably won't work out so great for me. We need to make pigsties. That's the next part that I would probably invest a little bit of time into. Pigs need to be tended, as far as I know. So what I may attempt to do is maybe, like, dig out this entire area, and then maybe add a door right there on the back end of the training zone. And once this has all been mined out, maybe we'll try and make it such that, oh, I don't know, this will all be like pigsties or something like that. It costs 20 wood to do pigsty. So yeah, let's just make this our little farming area. So there we go. With the pigs popping in, that should allow us access to a few more units. And if there's one thing I know that I enjoy, it's access to a unit. So that's raised our, yeah, that looks like it's actively raised our population cap by about 3 or 4. Not bad at all. Our goblin is level 3. Our pigs will be slaughtered every now and again, I think, in order to feed our troops. I don't know if these are just like symbolic pigs or if they're pigs that matter. I don't really know. We've got a couple more orcs that have joined up. You will have as many orcs as you have training areas, so if you're trying to tailor what you get out, I would destroy some of these training things, and then I would just leave the libraries up if you were trying to get yourself, like, let's say you were just trying to get access to a few orc shamans or whatever. You could tailor it a little bit by getting rid of the things that they need to have. Oh, look at that. He's killing pigs right now. Why is he killing pigs? Because he's hungry? Is that what it is? Or does that count as part of his training? I don't know. He's level 5.06, though, which is an oddly specific number to be trained in. You also have a bunch more orcs now helping out with crafting, which means we should just fly through some of these queues at the moment. There's a whole bunch of boots over there, but nobody seems to be equipping them. Which is a bit of a downer, actually, because I would expect a training room upgrade is needed. So yeah, I think once they hit level 7, they can no longer, like, get better at training. That's a club right there. Oh good, they are equipping stuff now. I don't care if my entire army is like perfectly equipped with everything they need in order to hit the enemy. But what I do care about is that they have access to like some of these little things in here that will make them a tad more effective. Oh, this guy got chewed on by a pig. He's wounded. Why are you getting chewed on by pigs, bruh? Oh, he's level 8. Damn, he's getting super badass. Level 8 is no slouch. That's a pig corpse right there, huh? Can I use the bones for anything? The pig skeleton? Can I, like, carve that into something? I wonder why they keep going over there and murdering pigs. Seems like kind of a dick move. Like, leave the piggies alone. They just want to be friends. They just want to hang out and do piggy stuff. I would say just do that right there. Just make lots and lots of pig farms. And we've got all that extra space, so I see no reason not to do it. We could probably cap out on our population with regards to like how many pigs we can have around at a certain point. Man, we are going through goodies right now. Oh good, they've got their medkits and whatnot now too, so they can use those to restore their HP if ever shit gets a little gnarly. I'm going to throw in another 10 clubs just to make sure we have at least weaponry. Because we did increase our pop cap, so... There it is. In order to increase the amount of armies that we have around, we're going to have to get some more advanced stuff. Not just the pig farms. I think the pig farms have like diminishing returns or something like that so that you can't spam them. I don't know the exact way that the mechanic works, but I've noticed that like... There seems to be a limit on how many pigs that I can have and how much it affects the stuff that I have going on in my life. Alright. Well, I turn around and my cat was chewing on my guitar. Just chewing on it. Not even on like the stringly bits. He's just chewing on the wood of the guitar, man. I live with a bunch of savages around here. We're just savages with no respect for anything. I spend like half my paycheck buying them like the nice kitty food so that they can be happy. And how do they repay me? With hiccups? And also with, why is my goblin... Why would you do that? No, goblin, leave those piggies alone. I mean, I realize there's a lot of them. We do appear to have, like, a pig population thing going on right now, but... You don't have to murder them, leave them alone. Now, what we really want to do at this point is we probably want to think about the possibility of attacking our enemies. Might be a decent plan. I'm going to keep the goblins here, but I'm going to create a new team, and we're going to add 11 orcs to this team. Now, these guys are not in the best of shape. I'm going to put, yeah, Bashat, you're going to be in control. And now, look, I could take control of these units, and as, like, a squad, they should come along with me, I think. Unless I did this improperly. You press the U key to release a minion, by the way. It took me a little while to find that. I think you've actually got to control the team with Ugduma in the lead. And so now we've got our little orc war force. Now it's time for us to go scout and murder some dudes. That's just what I think. I think we should go out and we should find somebody to punish. We are evil, they are good, and because of that dichotomy, we must destroy them. But I would suggest we explore our map first, just to make sure. And yes, I'm controlling them with the arrow keys right now, in case you were wondering. You can click, and they will go into places, but that can cause you to skip turns. And since the combat is turn-based, that can lead to some kind of odd things happening every now and again. I would suggest that we go after bandits. I think bandits are the best thing for us to go after right now. And so let's have a look around in bandit territory and see what we can accomplish here. I see fields off to the left.
I see fields of gold. Murder's here. I'm gonna hit your cow right behind his ear. And I think to myself, I'm a raiding ass orc.
Alright, so we're going to open the chest. We found a knife. I'm going to take it with me. Your guys can actively loot stuff, by the way. And so we're raiding their territory. We've got an armor enchantment right there. I don't really know what that does. I'm going to apply it because why not? And it looks like our pair of leather gloves got an increase to their stats. Cool. Alright, sounds good to me. Anything that's around here, they can be like murdered and slaughtered and raided. That's what I'm going to go up against. I don't see any enemies around here just yet. Oh, we've got +3 level. Okay, so we've got some leather armor there. You open the chest, it is full of rats. The orc swings his club swiftly, and the rat's skull is shattered. The rat is killed. Okay, who fills a chest full of rats? That seems like a joke between friends if I've ever seen one. Although kind of a weird joke, in all honesty. So we've killed a peasant. Peasants sometimes have loot. But as of right now, the only loot on that peasant is the gore which comprised him, so never mind. Dude, this guy lets a horse live in the house with him. A bunch of savages live around here, man. We've got 5 uses on that. What does a slowness potion do? Does it maybe... Oh, it slows me. Okay. That kind of sucks. But it'll wear off in just a minute, so I'm not really that stressed about it. I've yet to see any bandits around here. We've done a pretty good job at hitting and raiding some of these peasants and taking all of their stuff, but we really haven't found access to the enemy's territory yet. Look at that, vultures will come down and eat the corpses. There's a bunch of little stuff like that in this game that's just like cool and interactive and a little dwarf fortressy. Sometimes they have little, if you can't find where the enemy is at, sometimes they have little entrances hidden behind trees and stuff like that along the way. Or maybe we're just in the wrong area for right now. I don't know that we've properly wiped out this faction, but I don't really want to leave them standing while we're out here. I feel like there's the possibility they might hit me back, and that would totally suck. So let's see if we can find their base real fast. Picking through some trees, looking for the dungeons so we can kill some bad guys and take their stuff. Ah, there we go. So the bandit is critically wounded. He's level 5. A big part of this game is going to be like learning what enemies you can and cannot attack before you attack them, because some enemies are definitely higher level and will hurt the shit out of you. If you, what is that right there? That's an arrow. Take the arrow and take the bow. Yay, important. We have destroyed a tribe of bandits. Healing potions, swords, all kinds of good stuff up in here that'll make us much, much, much more effective at killing our enemies. And so I would take these, and they will drop a lot of this stuff off back at the base. Once we go back, sorry, I lost my train of thought in the cavalcade of gore and destruction that was just happening. Alright, and if you want to release them, you just press the U key, and we destroyed a tribe of bandits. We got a surge of 200 mana. Hell yeah. Absolutely hell yeah. And we can use that mana to do all kinds of fun stuff. I do need to build treasure chests inside of a treasure room. And so I would suggest that we bring this back over here. And in fact, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get any gold, treasure, or otherwise useful resources from killing our enemies. But what we did get is access to increasing our research by like a ridiculous level. So I would learn sorcery. I would take advanced geology. I'm also going to take traps, because now that we're attacking other things that are outside of our territory, they're going to start attacking us too. And so being able to build traps is probably a smart idea. Installations, we can do a whipping post if we wanted to raise morale. We could do eyeballs. I would suggest we put 2 eyeballs outside of our base. These give you line of sight so that you can see things coming, and you can see darkened areas that otherwise you wouldn't have access to. We have a ritual room. If we had extra mana, we could do that. That would summon demons to our lair. We could probably also get some monster cages if we wanted to have some monsters, things like bears, wolves, stuff like that. They're not like amazingly good, but if you can get crows and bats, they're really, really good for scouting without getting caught, so those have their uses. Now we have a graveyard, which I think is for our dead creatures. Oh no, it's a spot for hauling dead bodies, or for, it's basically beds for our undead creatures. Okay, so that's kind of cool. With the traps, we can have boulder traps. So it's a huge boulder that can be rolled towards the enemy. We've got gas traps, we've got terror traps, alarm traps, web traps, surprise traps, teleports nearby minions to deal with the trespasser. Okay. The poison gas trap seems like it might be a little bit risky. Like if I put the poison gas trap right there, I'm gonna give that a go, and we'll see what happens. I assume that our characters would avoid walking into that. I would assume that they would. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't affect them. They've now all arrived back from their raiding and pillaging and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully they will be using, a goblin produces an unarmed poison gas trap. Very, very nice. Now, will these guys store up the stuff? Because I know I've got some guy in here, like Ugduma or whatever. Oh, and they're merry because they've raided and killed the enemies. Good. Fantastic. Nothing makes an orc happy like the expungement of our enemies. Makes them feel very, very good about themselves. So what happened with all the loot that we brought back, though? We did have access to a whole bunch of swords and whatnot. So my hope would be that these guys would actually use the swords and things that we picked up. And the one who had the swords, I think, was Ugduma. Did he just not bring those back with him? I mean, what we can do is we can control our keeper. And then we can take our keeper, and we can go over here and confirm this. And there shouldn't be any enemies around because we've killed them all. We've wiped out this tribe. And instead, it does look like we looted the stuff. Although what they did with it, I don't know. I'm not sure what they did with the stuff that we looted. Alright, whatever. He does have spells available now that we've learned sorcery. We can heal our wounds. We can summon insect swarms. We can also do deception, which is basically like mirror image from D&D. We could do haste yourself, which allows you to act multiple times in a turn. We can use a stun ray that stuns enemies. Lots and lots of cool stuff there. I would confirm that we go back to our base. I'm going to release him. And then, but I'm also going to assign him to training because I want him to get better at fighting. We have mana right now. I would prefer that our Dungeon Keeper become better at the things that... If the boss dies, we lose the game. So we really, really, really don't want our boss to die. That's a bad plan. That's not going to work out for us. If I control him, by the way, can I pick up some of this stuff over here? Oh, look, there's a sword. So let's say that I wanted this right here. Oh, he's already done that. Okay, never mind. Then drop that. And then what I would suggest is that instead of... the sword has been put right there. I would remove that. I would remove that. And then I would equip the sword. Because we have the ability to utilize that. And that'll actually give his... That'll give his attack stat a fairly solid boost. I would release him now. And yeah, he's up to 22 at the moment. And I need him to go train in the training room and get better at his job. Because we can't have him die. He's the one person that cannot be slain by this whole ordeal. Our army is doing well. They are strong. They're holding it down for the set. But they're not there yet. Now, the next thing we probably wanted to look into is increasing our population cap. The best way to do that is by building statues for gold. There's also, you can leave message boards, by the way. If you ever beat the game, you can put message boards around. If other players come in here when they're invading your dungeon or whatever, they can read your message boards. Interesting stuff you can do. We've got a torture room, graveyard, beast lair, manufactories we're not going to be using anytime soon. The throne, you can increase your population by 10, but you've got to conquer an enemy village before you can utilize that. And since we didn't get like any gold out of the last village that we attacked, little bit of a bummer on that side. Not a whole lot we can do about that one, but we're about out of time for the day. In the next episode, we're going to start plotting our revenge on some of the other enemies. This is not a game of tremendous duration. This is a game that you can actually beat fairly quickly if you apply yourself to it. And you really kind of make a plan and you just hit stuff. I really, really like Keeper RL. I think that it's a fun little game. And while it's not, you know, super fleshed out at the moment, it is getting developed and it is adding new systems to the game. Like, I think the next system they're working on is an immigration system for your creatures so that you decide whether or not you actively want the creatures. So right now you get creatures randomly based on the facilities that are available. He's working on a system right now where the creatures will come to your borders and they'll be like, hey, 4 orcs want to join you. What do you say? And you can say yes or no. And you can deny them like that so that you can avoid the morale penalties or whatever from banishing units. But yeah, my name is Splattercat. This is Keeper RL. I will see you all in the next episode. Check out the link down below if you wanted to get the game for yourself. Hi to everybody. I'll see you when next we meet.